Hey, big hand claps all around, man. First things first, you guys. Today is going to be a great episode, and I feel it. The reason being is because the reason why I feel like it's going to be a great episode is because this is the person that I have up here is not somebody I know personally. This is somebody like how they say iron sharpens iron. Well, if I consider myself to be a metal, but I consider this person to be a Damascus type metal, as in like a it's not even just on a level of learning. It's actually embodying a certain type of energy that we just talked about how people pour in synthetic energy. From this person, I have received nothing but genuine energy. And I'm gonna let them introduce yourself, man. A man that needs no introduction. Take it away, my guy.
Greetings, everyone. The name is Mo Larry. Thank you. Hello, hey, Grandma. Hey, the name is Mo Larry. I'm a man of many things. To sum it up, though, I'll just say I'm a an artist. I'm an artist. I like to express my imagination, bring it to reality, and notice my change amongst the world. Do my bid on this planet Earth and get up out of here. Oh yeah, Mo Larry. I can sum myself up like that.
This guy knows his shit.
But it seems like it's to me. I always look at you like a Clark Kent type person. Uh, I look at you like a Clark Kent type person because you have made content. You have made content that have dwelled. That have thrived. You have made uh, you know, merchandise that has thrived, and you've met many great people along your journey as well. But today we're going to put all that aside, and I'm gonna ask you because I feel like even Clark Kent needs a psychological point where he can reflect. So, I'm gonna treat you like Clark Kent a little bit. We're gonna put Superman apart. We're gonna talk to Clark Kent. First things first, give us a little bit of info about your upbringing.
So I was not even was technically, I still am a military child. I was born in Germany. So I was born in Germany. Then my parents ended up getting a divorce. So I came to the States at a young age and moved around a little bit. And then I came to Illinois where I really kind of settled down for a while and really just kind of made my way through life, just learning. I've always been a person that love to play with action figures, love to watch cartoons. So my imagination has always been very vivid. So the line of, they say you play too much or everything's not a joke. Like that line is kind of blurred to me because every time I hear something or see something, I automatically think of a funny response or a funny situation of it. So even though everything may not be a joke, I kind of see it as a joke, which is why I kind of laugh through life, not really caring what other people think or how not necessarily how other people think, because I do take that into consideration, but it doesn't make me move differently. So whether you like this or not, if I like it, then I'm gonna rock with it. Now I'm not gonna be disrespectful to you, but I mean, hey, you like what you like, I like what I like, and that right there allows me to enjoy myself because I expect you to do the same thing. And if you don't, then that's kind of your fault for not truly appreciating what you like or even knowing what you like, because everybody has that certain preference, I should say. Uh, yeah, so I'm gonna bring in just me being original in myself, knowing what I like, and then just expanding on that. I've been watching Power Rangers for years. I'm still watching that. I'm still watching Goosebumps. Like I'm just the same individual, just growing and getting better in what I like. I've been watching Dragon Ball Z for years. So even now as a content creator, people like the stuff I'm talking about, but people who know me, this is no surprise because it's the same stuff I'm talking about in class, at the lunch table, at recesses. Just now I'm doing it on video essentially. So yeah.
But hey, I'm not trying to steal your word here, but much appreciation, especially to the stuff that you do, and I always find it funny because it seems as though nobody ever stops and really asks the funny guy why, why is he the way he is. Seems like the funny guy always gets accepted for being funny.
Yeah.
So let me ask you then. Just getting deep into it now. I mean, we're just gonna kick it off a little bit. Do you feel as though it is easier for you to take a no, or is it easier for you to give a no?
Take a no or give a no. it's easier for me to take a no for sure. To give a no is like if it's me trying to fix someone's situation, I can simply say no, I can't do nothing about it. But if I really feel like I could do something about it, whether I want to or not, I'm gonna try to figure that out. Even though this has nothing to do with me, this is not my problem. But now that you've shared this with me, I want to try to help you find a solution. And then for someone to tell me no, well, all right, I'm still gonna figure it out regardless. I was just hoping that you could help me figure it out. And if you can't, well, I'm gonna keep it pushing. But it is what it is, because I know once I get that yes, I'm in there. But if I get the no, I'm just in the same spot looking for the answer, I guess. So yeah, personally, it's easier for me to take a no than to give one.
Okay, okay. I struggle with that one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I struggle with that because I'm like, if I give you a no, if I give you a no, you know, it's like, damn, like, was I really your last option? Or if I, if for me to take a no, I struggle with that one because it's like, if I'm asking, that means that I have no other solution. You know what I mean? Like, I done exhausted every option. So me asking should let you know that I'm coming to you, pause up type situation. So, that that's basically mine. That's basically mine. Uh, let's talk about your mental foundation. Do you feel as though you overcoming the adversities that you have faced in your life? Do you feel as though that is your building, your foundational structure, or do you feel like creating peace for those around you is your mental structure, foundation?
Can you repeat that one more time? Because it cut out on some keywords. Like I heard the gist of the question, but a couple of keywords went blank. So I want to make sure I heard it right.
Okay, I said, do you feel as though your mental foundation is built off of overcoming adversity in your life, or is it built off of creating peace for the people around
It's a great question. Huh. Overcoming my own obstacles or creating peace for others? I think probably creating peace for others, because things that I've overcame didn't, I'm not gonna say they didn't really seem as challenging to me, but I didn't realize it was an obstacle till later on. So I'm sharing a story with somebody, or till I hear their testimony about something similar I did and how much difficult it was for them. It was very easy to me, but like I said, the take a no, give a no, it kind of goes back to that. When I'm helping somebody else out, I'm gonna try to help them out, and that's my those are the obstacles for me, trying to figure out how I can help someone out, because people only tell you half of the story anyway. So I'm only helping you out for this portion of it just to finish this. And now you're telling me it's a whole bunch of extra as well that you need help on. So trying to figure out how to get you a solution while keeping my mental peace and making everyone else around the table happy as well is kind of what I can build my stuff on. So creating general solutions to keep everybody happy, opposed to figuring out my own obstacles, because I know I can figure it out myself some way, somehow. Like I know and then if we get pulled over by the cops, I'm one of those people, let me do the talking. Because if I go to jail, then at least I know it's my fault. But if y'all talking for me and I still go to jail, then I'm mad at y'all, because I could have probably got myself out this situation. So yeah, if I had nothing better else to say anyways, y'all might as well gamble on me. So yeah.
you? Hey, and if they don't understand it, because when you let somebody else talk and you start realizing the more that they're talking for you, the more they're making us sound stupid. It really,
uh,
where it's like,
This is a sick Negro.
so I definitely understand. I understand that one. Now, as far as your mental state right now, do you feel like you are more alive, or do you feel like you are surviving? Let me ask you that. Uh,
I feel like I'm alive or I'm surviving. Uh, I feel like I am. I guess I don't want to really call it a mix, but I kind of want to say I'm surviving. Yeah, definitely surviving, because the way I was taught that adulthood would be as a kid is not that at all. So now I have to reteach myself, relearn, and figure out what I truly want out of stuff, because the things I thought was is not. So now I need to figure out what I really want out of my own beliefs, and now I got to cultivate that. So I'm not in my alive of comfortability time yet because I'm still building to that, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And I asked that question because it leads to a bear off question, which is, you as somebody who constantly networks, I'm sure somebody who constantly, have to think outside the box. I have to ask you, do you feel like your mental stamina, if you were to lose it all today, do you feel like you would have the mental stamina to regain it back and then some? Or do you feel like you have the mental stamina to walk away and still feel gratified behind the fact that you did it?
Yes. Okay. When we say lose it all, I guess it would depend in what area. Because if I'm talking like everything from my family said, you know what, we going our separate ways, and my career just took shambles, and my bank account said 000. Honestly, if I was to everything I got now lose it all, I would be able to not only walk away, I think, from my perspective now, you never know how you'll be until you get in a situation. But thinking about a variation of myself like that, the parallel mode, I think he'd definitely be able to, like, it'd be that a rocky maybe first couple of weeks, maybe a rocky month, but I wouldn't let myself, because a month they say is the time it takes to develop habits. So I wouldn't definitely let myself dwell for too long, but I think it'd be a great the glass is half full of saying, now I ain't got to answer to nobody because now I can truly just do what I want, how I want. Not saying I want to just go out and do some crazy stuff, but it's like how they say comparison on how a dude lives compared to how a woman lives. Like a dude don't need nothing but a place to sleep, a TV, maybe a game system, and whatever they're gonna eat for the next couple of days.
And
But
some tissue.
and some tissue, yeah, a couple cleaning supplies stuff here and there. They don't take that much. But being with other people, you gotta have stuff to accommodate them and stuff like that. Not saying it's a bad thing, but if I know the bare minimum of what I require and how I like to live, then yeah, me not having to answer or deal with a lot of people really is just like going off the grid. And yeah, I mean it'll be yeah, just going off the grid. It wouldn't hurt me at all, essentially, because I mean, once I retire from everything else, I gotta find a way to get off the grid just so I can be in peace, so people don't have that demanding expectation. So whether I get canceled or something, but I definitely got to think of a way to get off the grid so I can find a way to not have to pop up at all the dinner parties or where he been at lately or why he ain't uploaded such and such. But you get cancer, some folks just, oh yeah, well he just fell off. I just fell off if I got everything I want to be personal. So yeah.
When put like that, I can respect it. I can respect it. So let me ask you then. Let me ask you. Currently, what is a mental adversary that you have been facing, if you don't mind me asking?
A mental adversary that I've been facing is how people see me versus how I see me. So like I always
That's
have to I always have to tell myself because what's the best way to say it? There's somebody right now that's just starting up. Like there's always room for improvement, I guess. So a person can see me and be like, man, Mo Lowry done made it and he doing everything that I'm trying to get done. And then in my imagination or in my perspective, it's like, man, I got so much to do until I feel like I done made it. But to someone else, I done made it. So seeing myself as an individual who has accomplished a lot of goals that a lot of people are trying to accomplish and moving into that type of atmosphere because my family and stuff don't see me like internet people see me. So, like I said, I've been talking about the same stuff over and over. So they done known I've been in the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know it's been that weird cousin that's coming to the family reunion bringing action figures and a Game Boy and stuff. So to them, it's just the same. But to people online, they look at me differently. So to I don't want to call it an identity crisis, but it's kind of hard to um, grow in this presence that my community sees me as, my family don't see me as that. But let me bring in a whole bunch of benefits that can take care of the family. Now they want a piece of everything, but it's like y'all don't see me as this individual, nor are y'all helping me grow as this individual. So that balance of trying to keep the two at ease is kind of a struggle, but it is what it is, I guess.
okay. Okay. The reason behind me asking that is because I feel as though men, especially us, we don't really stop and assess the damages. So, with that being your mental adversary as of right now, my question, the question that's been building for me, because I was like, what do you ask somebody? What do you ask one of your idols? You know what I mean? What do you ask somebody that you look up to? And the question always, the question that came back to me was, you know, what what would you say your peak is by your own standards, not by your fan standards, not by your community standards, not by your family standards. What would you say your satisfied peak, where you'll be like, you know what, this is me at my peak, this is what I see for me? And let me ask you, why is that the standard? Because I heard somebody say being alone, and I'm talking about, this is a man with a family of five. He said being alone. So, you know what I mean? The minute that he said that, I was just like,
You need to leave. Oh man, that's funny. My peak though, my comfortability state, I would say once, because I'm self-taught with a lot of stuff. That's also an issue of mine because I'm self-taught and I don't know what's the do's or don'ts. Like when it comes to math, I'm what they call a guess and check person. I don't really know the formula, but if I can guess something and get close to what the correct answer was, I wasn't too far off. I just need to assess what I could have did better and got wrong type deal. So my peak would probably be just my family is comfortable in the sense of if y'all want to go shopping, y'all can go shopping and my rent's paid and like just that, like I ain't got to worry about the bills and stuff like that on a month to month or a year to year basis. Like I'm because it don't take much. Like my grandpa growing up, all my grandpa would do was go to work. He may drink a couple. They call them suds. Drink a couple of suds, and he just watched movies. So now that he's retired, all he does is sit in the basement and watch movies, or maybe listen to some Michael Jackson or some Temptation, something like that. But that's his piece of just comfortable man cave watching movies. So my variation of that is to be comfortable office where I can write, play the game, and just chill. Because I don't get outside much at all. Like if I'm not going to an event to talk to people, I'm inside the crib. So if I got anything around me, I'm cool. So my peak could just be
and
inside.
people,
Yeah. I'm looking at people out the window like that Squidward meme. I'm just chilling and hey, I ain't really got to answer to nobody. My family cool, and hey, if somebody needs something, I'm able to help them out type deal. So I think that'd be my peak personally.
okay, okay. Uh, so let me ask you, uh, as far as friends go, because once again, we're talking about men's mental health here. You know, a king always has a counsel. I won't ask you about your counsel. I'll just ask you this: when being a friend, do you feel as though you are a great friend, or do you feel as though you're a necessary friend? Because there's a lot of people who can't distinguish the two. And a necessary friend is, I'm here when you need me, not when you want me to be here. And as for a great friend's there all the time. But even that has, its checks and balances. So what type of archetype of a friend do you think you are? Just going off of your own mental statements.
I think, man, I would kind of say, man, I don't like to say both, but really both because like I said, I've always been me, so people know what to expect out of me, and it's some of my like I got friends now to where um so okay, I use one of my homies for example. I don't know his name, but he just had a loss in the family. So I haven't even really seen him in a while. Maybe us being best friends, a while is like a month. You feel me? So I ain't maybe seen him in a while, a couple months, but then he had shot me a message and told me who had passed, and I didn't respond to the message because my phone was broke. But to his perspective, he was like, "Yeah, I didn't know if he was gonna show up or not." So I get to the funeral, and then it was that moment where folks got to talk on the microphone. So I said something on the microphone, some kind words, and that inspired everybody else to get on the microphone and talk like that and get to saying stuff. So afterwards, he had told me, "Get the, hey, bro, you wouldn't believe it, but my family really don't like each other like that. So I'm really surprised that people got on the microphone and said this and said that. And if you wouldn't got on and said that, I doubt anybody would say anything at all." So that would kind of go into classify as like a necessary friend because I kind of came in a clutch moment to where it's like I'm able to speak and I'm not afraid to talk in front of people. So let me use my skill set to make something better like this. But then it's also like my friends know they can't call me whenever they want to at the drop of a dime. Like they expect me to be doing something, but they know if they need assistance or something, or even just in the way I move. Like I've been married for a while, so a lot of my friends have been mingling, but me being a faithful husband, like I keep hope in their eyes, because if I was to go out and have a baby on the side or get a divorce, that'll change their perspective of marriage. Like, man, if Mo could even keep his marriage happy or could even keep it, I ain't got no hope for me. So it kind of classified into different areas on how my friendship is evaluated to my closest peers, if that makes sense. So.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense, and the reason behind me asking so many questions that are, I mean, yes, it's men's mental health, but I realize that men especially, we tend to get caught up in being narrow-minded way, and our own narrow-mindedness, and in trying to fulfill an image. In other words, we get so caught up in being a husband, we forget how to be a friend. We get so caught up in being a friend, we forget how to be a brother. We get so caught up in being a brother that we forget how to be a husband. You know. So I'm just asking from different, like we're standing in the hallway and there's different doors. The whole thing that I'm just trying to assess and also show within asking all this is that it is okay to have different faces when being a man, because the person that you might get amongst the homies ain't the person that you're gonna get in front of my mama. The person you gonna get in front of my mama ain't the person you're gonna get at work. You know. So with all that being said, may I ask about some of the sacrifices it took in order for you to thrive in one area, and like what are the sacrifices that was took for you to have thrived in such an area that you had to go back and readjust another area, such
Mhm.
as such as being a friend or a husband, etc. Just asking. And remember, you can always say pass.
Oh yeah, it's that's a great question. So it's a cool challenge to try to even answer that. But a sacrifice that I had to make in order to keep a straight face, man, is really just my own happiness. Essentially, like there's things that
That's
I put on the back burner for other people, and of course, since I got married at the age of 22, so 22 is usually when people actually get into the peak years of whether they living like a bachelor or they just exploring life or experiencing things. But
he
I
don't want to
knew.
say y'all out here hoeing. That's what he want to say. Yeah, out here hoeing. Tighten up. He don't got to say it, but I will. I don't expect Superman can tell you what he want, but Batman gonna tell you you're wrong. You out here hoeing, raw dogging, out here just anything, $40 hollers, yeah, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, that process of, because I always knew that the universe will give me big things, but I don't know or who around me I can trust whenever I get those big things. So I tried to kind of set myself up for my future self, because my wife is a very lovable and enjoyable person and is a great match for me. So I just wanted to get that out the way. But like I said, me being married this early means that I got to miss out on a lot of stuff that I may have regretted, but I could have considered fun in the meantime, between time. Um, Even just trying to focus on my career, like I said, everything is self-taught. So I don't go out as much to kick it because I'm spending all nighters learning and researching stuff. So missing a friend's bachelor party where everybody come back, man, this was the best moment of our lives and yada yada yada. I missed that because whether my wife may have been upset because she might knew what they own, or whether I need to learn something because I got my own mental deadline. So the biggest sacrifice would just be my own happiness in certain areas, but I don't know if that fully would make me happy. It might just be the image of stuff, because it's like you always think of something better than what it is. It's like, man, I can't wait to eat this food. I've been thinking about this food all day, and the food may be good, but how you perceive the food mentally was way better than when you got it. So, yeah, myself would probably be the only thing that I had to truly be sacrificed because I put everybody else first, and then I just make do with what I got. So if I got a house full of people, I'm gonna make sure everybody else gets something to eat. And shit, if all we got is bread left, I'm gonna make sure this the best piece of toast I got for the rest of the day. But I didn't sacrifice the big piece of chicken, or the sides, and the ribs, and the drinks, and all that, just so because I can be cool with bread personally. So yeah, my own self is probably the biggest sacrifice of my career thus far. But it's one of those things to where I hope in the long run, the fruit that it bears will be well worth it, and I won't be upset. So I just ain't got to the point to where I see the tree fully grown yet. Yeah.
Okay. It's funny that you put that analogy out there because we've been on this journey. I've talked to other guys, and one of the guys I had a conversation with was very intellectual, and he said, men have a hard problem with understanding that sometimes the only thing we're supposed to do, sometimes the only thing that we're supposed to do is either water the seed, or tend to the seed. We're not supposed to do every part of that, of the growth, because then we're just taking over the process. So let me ask you this: mentally wise, are you able really to take the back seat in situations that you could have easily taken over and got it done, as in like watching other people grow? Situations like especially in family, because we might have a little brother that's out here. I don't know your family, of course. Much respect to your family. I won't say anything bad or nothing like that. Always respectful. Like, you might have a brother out here that's out here wilding, and instead of you yoking him up by his neck, you like, hey man, I might gotta let you bump your head. I'm not gonna let you die, but I gotta let you bump your head. You know what I mean? So do you feel as though that you have that mental capacity to do so, to step aside in certain situations where you want to be involved?
Yeah, definitely, because most of the time, even though I talk a lot, I'm very kind of outspoken in a sense, because I say my input and let it be. Like, there may be different variables that pop in that could possibly alter my opinion, but when I see something, I feel the way I feel about it, and this is my input on that situation. And if you listen to it, all right, you can listen to it. And if you don't, you don't. But I'm not going to force you to do nothing, because hey, you can do what you want to. Just like I feel all confident in my choices. If you feel that about your choices, go ahead. And I hope it play out right. Like, I hope people prove me wrong, because I don't like to be the I told you so type of person. But when I do become the I told you so type of person, I don't got to remind it, because you knew what I said. And I specifically gave you the moment to ask whatever questions. I'll let you know if you ever need some assistance, you can help. It's like telling people about life insurance. Life insurance is very important to have, but people are going to brush it off and not really take it into consideration until mugs end up leaving Earth. Now folks got to sell plates or do this or figure this out. But what I said 5 years prior, we could have been not have to go through this situation. So it's like, I'll say what I need to say and sit back. I ain't really got to be the alpha, because I know where I stand at in situations. So yeah, once I let it be known, I put my barrier up and I'm just chilling. If folks want my input, you can ask, but I don't really like to repeat myself, because my opinion really gonna be the same essentially.
Wasn't expecting that one, was you? God.
Not at all. Oh, that's hilarious.
But I will say this: from the answers that you're giving me, it's definitely refreshing to hear, because I don't hear those answers a lot. I don't hear those answers a lot, because to me it seems like you are solution oriented, but it does not seem as though you are rush job oriented. It seems as though you go with the flow, but you know where the flow is leading to, and you know how to get the hell off the boat if it's not leading towards where you need to be. So okay, I can definitely thrive with that. We're gonna go to a little quick commercial, then we're gonna get back to some fun stuff. Because I'm gonna ask you, you got to give me 3 different crushes from 3 different decades. All right, 3 different crushes, 3 different decades. After this commercial. Short commercials, of course, you know what I mean? But three different crushes, three different decades, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the race. Uh, just go at it. You know, don't lie to yourself either.
Three different crushes, three different decades. So, all right, I'm going to say who. Okay, let me think. As a kid, who did I look at? It was like Hubba Hubba. Um, can I say two? Three, I might, because three might just be okay. So two. First one, I'm gonna say my wife. Say my wife. And second, I'm gonna say Mystique from X-Men. And then, yeah, Mystique from X-Men.
Sensational.
If push come to shove, I'll just tell her to turn into my wife. That's my answer.
Hey, to anybody who is watching this, hey, listen to me. The perfect answer has been found. If I can't get my wife, I'm gonna get somebody to turn into my wife. So all right. Those are your two. Either way it go, I went back to the wife, so I can respect that. Oh, I ain't gonna ask you to blink twice if you in danger, because for you to turn around and say my wife twice, you know what I mean? I don't know if she's standing over there in the corner. Hey, brother, just give me the sign and I'll be like,
Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help!
Hey, that's hilarious.
so. But let me ask you this. What does men's mental health mean to you?
Men's mental health mean to me, it means a lot in the sense of the foundation of how a lot of stuff thrives, in the sense of I know there's a double standard, and I know there's some things that men can do better than women, and women can do better than men, and then there's some things that predominantly men should be doing better, but there's women who can do that better, like that whole terms and agreements advisory. I know that, but in a sense of I personally think men would be better at building the house, and women would be better at decorating and saying where stuff should go. So that being said, men's mental health should be important because there is the level of logic that a healthy mindset, that a healthy man, a mentally healthy man could deliver to not only to the family, to the community, to the surrounding area is very productive and important, because when it's not there, it definitely shows. And it can show in many areas, like even in the terms of war. If we ain't got a lot of mentally sound men, then you can really say that battle might not go correctly, depending on what side you're on. If we ain't got a lot of mentally stable men helping out the youth, then they're going to go in a different direction. There's different factors that men help out on and then women help out on. But if men aren't mentally healthy enough to help out on these things, then a lot of stuff will crumble, or it'll just be half-assed, which is just short term to crumbling in the future. If you're building something on sand, it may look good for a couple of weeks, but check back on a couple of years and see the results of it. So yeah, I think it's important in the foundation of how stuff gets built up, and then the characteristics of other men, because men watch men. That's how I learned. Like, I didn't grow up with a father in the household, so I had to learn from other men, and I took different parts of what I seen from them and incorporate them in myself. But if all of those men were bullshitters, regardless of which one I picked out of, I just would have been digesting bullshit just from different areas, and that would have turned me into a bullshit individual, because these other men didn't have the right mental health. So I think it's important in that sense of the foundation and how it upbrings other people who's watching.
That's a great answer, and I really believe that answer, because I feel as though, you know, our parents and their parents wasn't able to talk. Well, I'm gonna say our dads, or those males of that era before, they wasn't really allowed to really talk about how they felt mentally. It was always go to work, come home, you know, go see your family down the street, come back to your real family. You know what I mean? But I feel like it is becoming a refreshing topic to see other men taking their mental health seriously, to the point where we can have these conversations where our shortcomings come up. We can have these, and not just conversations. We can have healthy conversations because our grandparents didn't have those healthy conversations. You know what I mean? Uh, look at how far black men have come as far as communicating go. Like we went from, you know, not being able to talk to each other to I've never met you, you never met me, but we're talking about a topic that means a lot to each other. So, that meeting point definitely shows that, that seed has been planted. And I love how we're not just making it one man's topic. It's, one man's choice. It's all of our choices to do this and pour in to this topic because we know how detrimental it is. I don't know if you have a son, I don't know if you have nephews or whatever, but I have a son, he's 14. My son's about to take on the world, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it frightens the shit out of me, man, because you know in today's society, you don't get to make mistakes. You don't get to go out there and fight your cousin in the dirt road. You'll fight your cousin to kill you. You don't get to talk crazy to your bully. Your bully will kill you. You know, girlfriends will kill you. Like, yeah, we knew about that stuff growing up, but in today's age, it's just running rampant. So let me ask you this: seeing everything, seeing your community and whatnot, do you feel as though it was easier to be a young man growing up the way we did, or do you feel like it's easier to be a young man growing up nowadays?
I would say, man, I guess depending on the factors. So I would say easier for us in the sense of we actually got to experience a childhood and actually had a childhood and grew into the world that we see now. But also, we were hidden from a lot of things. So that made us become individuals. Once we're grown, we need to reteach ourselves and learn stuff that we should have been taught as kids, but our parents ain't want to reveal the world to us. But nowadays, they can see the world. Like they have the same access to the same things adults doing. They can get into the same thing. I know kids who done popped in adult parties, so they see the world for what it is, and it's messed up, but it also gives them a head start to the point of like kids can be millionaires now. So me growing up, I'm thinking, all right, once I turn 18, I go to college, get a career, and then that's how I gotta adjust in life. What's up? It's Junior. Hey, spoken into existence. But then nowadays, a kid can start hustling at the age of 5 and have a channel that supply and support the whole family. You just hope the family do right by them, but that's very common. So, I mean, the opportunities that they have now are way more lucrative than we had, but that's because the world is just more exposed to them than it was to us. So, in a sense, I do appreciate actually having a childhood and letting my imagination develop. But it's some things I wish I would have known earlier on in life and that they know early on as well. But I definitely think it was easier for us growing up because they have to deal with a lot of stuff. And it's just like one small decision can truly change your life, from the peer pressure to the influences to just how stuff is just marketed amongst them because they're kids and they're ignorant to a lot of things. But ignorance don't care about nothing but money. I mean, business don't care about nothing but money. So your ignorance is what they really thrive off of. So it's yeah. So stuff like that is it's messed up, which makes it challenging for them. But if they don't know how stuff used to be, it's not challenging to them. This is just normal. So I guess we'll just see the effects of when they how it is when they become our age, I guess.
Okay, okay. That was definitely a doozy of a question because, like I said, I'm scared for my son, but at the same time, I gotta make sure he's prepared, and I gotta do that in the best way I know how. Uh, I just got two more questions for you. The first one is your stress factor. How do you manage stress as a man, not as a husband, because we both know significant others can drive you there. You know, blink. I know you might not can't say it, but blink twice. Just joking. But uh, just stress factors, because if we're talking about mental health, we got to talk about the thing that's definitely triggering, and stress is always a trigger for men. So how do you manage your stress? Do you manage it by drinking? I mean, recreational roll up. I mean, how exactly do you manage your stress, or what's your process?
Now I've actually been. It's interesting that you asked that because now I've actually been reconstructing on how I handle my stress because it was like just playing the game, chilling to myself, but then I ended up becoming a streamer. And then now what I would usually use to take stress away is now work for me. So then that takes the relievement out of it. So I ain't streamed for the past month. Like I ain't go live at all on a video game, and I kind of just had to shut down and restart myself. Yeah,
I'm
so so I by meditating helps. I like to learn. So I kind of the best way for me to really deal with stress is just to occupy my time with something that makes me not stressed. So if I know that I'm waking up today and I feel pretty stressed out, I want to learn something. So now my attention is more focused on trying to learn whatever I'm studying opposed to being stressed over whatever situation I'm stressed out on. And then I I go back to different times and watch different things that made me happy. So if I got like a favorite episode of Hey Arnold or a favorite episode of Boondocks or something, I'm gonna just watch that. Or like sometimes I might stress eat. Like let me just go ahead and treat myself to something because I like I said, I usually put a lot of people before me. So me doing bare minimum stuff for myself is actually a lot to me. But that's something like me buying myself a T-shirt is rare to me because I spend stuff on everybody else. But me doing something like that is like that's really all I take because I don't do a lot for myself. So when I do just the smallest things, they make huge impact. So if I might go out and buy the family something to eat, but don't get myself none from the restaurant. So when I do say, I'm gonna just get me something to eat from the restaurant, not get them nothing, then that kind of make a bad day a little better. So I just have different things to where I can sustain a stressful day. So all I need to do is get past this day, and I know tomorrow will be much better. So just different small things, whether it's working out, meditating, because it used to be negative stuff, whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, whether it's porn, a whole bunch of stuff to where it's good gratification for the moment, but it's not changing nothing overall. I just feel good for this next 10 to 30 minutes, but after it wear off, I'm gonna be pissed off again. So I need to do something that's even if even if it doesn't fully help the situation throughout the day, it does something better. So if I'm working out or meditating, I may just feel a little better after the workout, but this workout that made me better for my overall health. If I'm learning something, it may not clear all the stress out, but me learning this has made me better overall as an individual. So since I'm overall becoming better, then this may save my future self from stressing over something because I didn't handle this right now. So trying to think like that, I guess, is how I handle my stress.
Okay, so like let me take the hit today so that I can live tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not a bad tactic at all. It's not a bad tactic at all. All right, so we're about to have a little fun, my guy. Uh, it's just a random question, of course, but how do you feel about the statement "one monkey don't stop no show"? Can your can your white can your white coworkers say "one monkey don't stop no show"?
um, if they was referring to if we had nothing but black workers there and the white manager just said that, then I might ask if he like what were you getting at with that? But in a sense, I never really classify myself to get insulted at the monkey insult. So it wouldn't really insult me. That's how I would ask. Like me being a comedian, I say jokes that could be insulting to people all the time. So you got to be able to, if you can, what they say, if you can dish, you got to be able to take it. So a lot of stuff will really insult me. But as far as the saying outside the insulting thing, yeah, one monkey doesn't stop a show. If I'm running a whole circus and all the animals is lined up accordingly and the group of monkeys is ready to flip and this one monkey is acting up, hey man, I'm not gonna stop the whole circus because of you, bro. You just gonna get in this cage. So yeah, one monkey don't stop a show. Bullshit. One bad apple do spoil a bunch. So it just depends on the context of the situation.
You know what? That is very true. That is very true. My second random question, and then we're gonna get to the last question. Second random question is, why isn't a hot dog considered a sandwich? It's meat between two. It's meat between two pieces of bread,
You
and
you
it's just
know
It's
if
just
you
connected at the gooch. It's just connected at the gooch.
if you look up the history of hot dogs, it used to be classified as a sandwich because I asked that same question. Like, doesn't this make it a sandwich? Especially if I was just to eat it this way. Like, is it not damn near just a burger? Because some people be throwing all types of pickles and tomatoes and all types of stuff in their hot dog. So I'm like, why is it considered a sandwich? And looking up the history of it, it actually was considered a sandwich. I just think for marketing purposes, they just made it an alternate to a hamburger, which is a sandwich. So it's like versus. Really, we selling you the same thing, but if we can tell you this is different from that, then you thinking you making an entirely different choice when I say hot dog or hamburger. But damn it, you still eating a sandwich. But if I was just to say get your sandwiches over here, you might not buy either of them. So in the sense of marketing, I can tell you, hey, we got popcorn going for 50 cents, nobody might buy any. But if I say two for $1, well, that's a deal. Let me go ahead and just that psychological aspect of it.
Okay, bet, because I for the longest I was like, so a sub is not a sandwich because a sub is just if you take a foot long sub or a foot long hot dog, they're both a sandwich. But that was the random question. Those are the random questions of the day. But I do have a meaning behind that, and the meaning behind that is double standards. So as a man, do you feel as though when it comes to our mental health, there's a double standard?
Um, yeah, but I would say a double standard because we're still in the infant stages of truly flushing everything out to how important it is to us. Because if, like you said back then, if men's only thing was to go to work, see family one and see family two, and wash, rinse, and repeat, then there's never really been a phase of men actually venting about their mental health. So since women have always been the focal point of emotions and seeing how they feel and stuff like that, they got plenty of time of growth and development into harboring their emotions. Men don't. So now we in the infant phases of folks speaking how they feel, and you just look soft because ain't no other men before you done said nothing like this. So years from now, because of what we're doing now, things should be much better of men venting how they feel and the importance of understanding their feelings too. But as of now, since this is the early phases, man, you better suck it up. Everybody else didn't complain because there's so many people before us who went through some crazy stuff and we never really heard how they truly felt unless you kind of talk to somebody who they was close to and they'll tell some stories. But just them expressing how they felt despite what they're going through, we don't see that a lot. So if they ain't saying nothing despite what they was going through, you shut your punk ass up too. That's the phase we in right now. But as more people kind of talk about how they feel, people kind of will grasp a better understanding. But folks just got to get used to people talking about how they feel first from a guy perspective. Because it's like if me and my wife was to break up right now, and let's just say it's she, okay, if I use an example of her cheating on me and now I'm on Facebook crying and stuff, mother's gonna laugh at me like, bro, you bet, man, bro, shut your punk ass up, bro. You should know, you should have known it was like, that's your fault for thinking, bro, they gonna make it seem like it's my fault for getting cheated on. Let me cheat on her and she on Facebook crying. Girl, yeah, you deserve way better. If you need anybody, I'm here for you, yada, yada, yada. So it's like that's right there because they're more prone and used to seeing that from a woman's side than a guy's side. Like there are individuals of guys who understand how dudes may feel, dudes who've been in those certain situations so they can relate. So they'll be ones to reach out to try to talk. But just for the mass majority, you getting laughed at. Like when Tyrese was online crying, like people who've been in those situations to where this shit is actually real, they felt for him. But for ones who ain't never been like that and who ain't ready to learn that, man, you a mean, bro. Yo, crybaby ass, get off your crying, bro. What you doing? So, yeah, until enough of us set that tone, draw that line, and make it truly important, it's always going to be considered as a joke. But I think we in that phase of showing the importance of it. So then as people come after us, they'll be able to actually have people understand because they'll use us as references, if that makes sense.
Okay, bet. So we're gonna go to a quick commercial, and then we're gonna do a thing called that we usually do on here called a gym drop, and that's where we leave. It does not have to be topic orientated. It can be a gym about anything, white back to front, not. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, whatever you want to get them a gym about. But we're gonna go to a commercial. before I say anything, I really said white back to front. Ladies, don't listen to me. I ain't got no hoo-ha. Listen, white from front to back, ladies, front to back. But we gonna let my man drop a gem, and then I'm gonna drop a gem, and we gonna get up out of here.
Uh, a gym. Since you said wipe, and one thing my mom always taught me was don't wash your face with the same towel you wash your ass with.
This guy knows his shit.
And another gym, from my perspective, would just be yourself, because like it's easier for people to be other people than it is themselves. Like I could be anybody I want to on the internet with some Photoshop. I can travel to any country I want to, and you don't know me in real life, people online. So if you think I'm here because I changed my, like, this is green screen, like you can tell, but if I want to touch it up a little bit, you might think I'm really in front of a brick wall, because it's easier to be fake than real. So I would just say truly learn how to be yourself and be confident in yourself. Like, I'll show my haircut off on your thing. Like, this haircut pissed people off because really I'm bald. So I grew my hair out to get people.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
But I'm confident of the skin that I'm in. So if folks can switch names, identify as different genders, wear whatever they want, and move however they want, why can't you be yourself? Like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff in line that folks need to question before they get to you being how you truly are originally. So yeah, be yourself and don't have no shame in your game. Let me put my hat back on though. Why he dropped his game.
You know what? My gym drop is a simple one. My gym drop is gonna be a simple one, and that is appreciate your own perspective. And the reason why I say that is because there's a reason why you feel the way you do. There's a reason why you do the things you do. But you have to understand that you are that reason. Don't go looking for a reason outside of reason. You are that reason that you do the things that you do. So your failures, your success, your adversities, your overcomings, all of those have the same basic core variable, and that is you. So with that being said, if you are mentally fighting a battle right now, that outcome, that whatever the outcome is going to come from you and your perspective. If you feel as though you have failed, that means that as long as you can feel that you have failed, there's still time to try again and succeed. It is when you accept failure as an indefinite answer or destination that you have truly failed. So please, please, please always remember to respect your own perspective, and most of all, don't let yourself fall to the wayside because it's not worth it. It is much harder to bring yourself. It's much harder to bring yourself back from imitation because imitation is the worst form of suicide. So don't kill yourself by lying about your own perspective.
Like the lighter for that. That was deep.
But we out of here. Hey, it's been just another day in the showcase, men's mental health saga. You know what? Give Mr. Mo, Mr. Mo Larry, man. I thank you for being out here. Thank you for being I'm gonna take this time. I'm gonna take this time on the show to give you your flowers, man. Like I said, just from reaching out, from the first video I seen where you were talking about how Kid Boo was out here wreaking havoc and whatnot. That was the first video I ever watched, and it had me rolling. And then when I found out it was a black guy, I was like, yes, sir. You know what I mean? Like you, me personally, I think you're one of the pioneers for anime in the black community. You hash potatoes, those guys. You guys are definitely like the black pioneers. Uh, what is it? RDC World. I put you guys up there on the Mount Rushmore for African American men as far as the anime community is concerned. So, man, don't stop. From me, from the Hood Academy, don't stop, bro. Please don't stop. And the greatest damn thank you we can give is by continuing to do our best. So from If I'm iconic, you're legendary. So from icon to a legend, thank you for being there, man. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for taking time out. It's always appreciated, and trust me, it is definitely respected.
Thank you. On Justice, I appreciate you as well, man. On Justice, thank you.
All right, my G. So we about to get up out of here, y'all. Hey, this is another thing of the showcase. Y'all take it easy.